Hi there, I'm Linda and this is Huttons Valley Permaculture. Well, it's day 6 of our week of work in my summer vegetable garden. We've been busy clearing, planting, mulching, making compost, and today's not going to be any different. Today I've got another garden bed that's getting overgrown, needs clearing and planting out. Now this is my Swiss chard bed, and I did also have some cos lettuce in here. It's also the end of the bed where I did start some seedlings, and I didn't actually move all of them out. I've still got perpetual spinach here that's actually producing quite well. There's some kale hiding in here. All the lettuce plants are going to seed, so I'll be taking some of those out. But basically it turned into a cos lettuce and Swiss chard bed. Now down this end, all I'm going to do is tidy it up and get rid of some of these lettuce plants. And once I get down the other end, that's when the real work will start. I'll also have to be mindful of this pumpkin plant that's starting to sneak away from my arch trellis in a number of places across this garden bed. So I'll have to work out what I do with that as I go. Okay, let the clearing begin. I'll start with this big Swiss chard plant. Getting one stem of them out of a garden makes a big difference. I forgot, I also started some beetroot seeds. Now I did move some of them out of here, but not all. So I've got a nice red beetroot there and some of the beautiful little pink chogia beetroots coming along. So I'll definitely be leaving those ones in. Oh, it's a nice find. Now this pumpkin plant that's working its way all across my garden, I might try and redirect before I cut out too much stuff. It might be better running along the ground with this one and be right out of our way. And of course it's hanging on to everything. I think that'll be better. It's running along the ground with this other pumpkin now. So they can intertwine and be happy going out that direction. Now these lettuce plants at the back there, right against the arch trellis, I will be leaving. I don't mind plenty of those seeds being spread around. And just with checking that out, I've discovered another beautiful Turk's turban pumpkin growing. They're very interesting, these pumpkins. This is one of the cos lettuce plants that is flowering and going to seed, and I'll leave that one to go to seed. And I might leave a second plant, that one there, so they can cross-pollinate. But those other plants down there are all the cos lettuce, but I'll take those out. Now this Swiss chard, I'm just going to take these bottom leaves off. A lot of them are kind of ripped and a bit old looking, and it just encourages, you know, your slugs and snails. Although I don't see too many of those at the moment because it's sort of warmer and drying out a little bit. And it also helps to reveal any of the grassy weeds at the bottom that I can then just more easily pull out now than leaving them till later. When you're pulling grasses out of a compost layer, they pull out fairly easily, and you're not really disturbing the soil too much, or at all if it's already in the compost. Sorry to interrupt your sunbathing, but there you go. You're getting well fed this week. Now, since I've just made a compost yesterday, I've thrown the chickens all of these scraps, which they won't have all of it. But what I do find is that it just starts to break down and decompose in the yard, and I can grab it from here when I'm making my compost next. Now we're up to a big patch of running grass that's been here for months, and I should have done something about it as soon as I saw it sort of starting to grow, but I didn't. It was always on the, oh yeah, I'll do that soon kind of list. But today's the day. This patch is just kind of in this little area here, so it won't be too much to get through. So once again, I'll just try loosening it. I might get these plants out of the way to make it easier. And now I can start working at these horrible, horrible grasses. And there's a bit of buttercup in here as well. Oh, might need loosening a bit more. That's better. Oh, dig under all the compost reveals where all the roots are. It's all these underground roots that if you leave them, you will get into trouble. Although some of these are the Swiss chard, so I'll leave those, but get these ones out. The Swiss chard end of the bed is clear now, although I'm not confident that the grasses won't come back here. There's so many roots that they go in and under all these plants. If I dug out all the plants, I might have a hope of containing it. But, you know, they just stretch out forever, these little roots. I'm just going to have to be really vigilant, and anytime I see any, just pull it out. And there's not too much going on over the other side of the garden. There are a couple of sad-looking Tuscan kale plants that might get a better go at it now the garden's a bit clear. There's some calendula in, which is kind of mostly finishing off though, but it will be back. It likes to do that. So that leaves this side of the bed, which can pretty much be all cleared. Even this lovely purple or lilac chicory flower, I'm just going to pull out because I won't be able to get all of these grasses out if I try and save any of these plants. So I've got plenty of lettuce. These seed heads, the green ones, are just releasing their seeds, so I should be able to shake some of those seed heads out across my soil once it's all clear and grow some more lettuce. So much as I like flowering plants, I'm learning that you've got to recognise the time when they need to go, and now is that time for this lot. These grasses are a bit tricky. You think you're done, and then I sort of scraped off the compost and you find these grasses just sitting right under here. So yeah, this is why I'm not confident that this first go round is going to get everything out successfully, but we've made a good start on it anyway. Okay, finally done. Now this end looks pretty good and it's got a good layer of compost on it. This end, because I've had to dig it a lot more, there's a lot more soil being brought to the surface. So I'm going to add a layer of compost, the mushroom compost, just to cover the soil and give it a good chance of recovery. Another garden bed looking 100% better. I've put the compost fairly thick. It's sort of about 5 to 10 centimetres thick across the bed, just because it did need a lot of more organic material. Now I'm going to be sprinkling some of my lettuce seeds over the top of this from the plant, and also some that I've got in the house. And then I'm just going to cover it like I have with my carrot seeds behind me. It means the birds don't get at it and scratch around. Already with my bed that I did 2 days ago, I've had birds scratching it, and it just means all the seeds get spread everywhere, so that's when my paths start to fill up as well. So that's all I'm going to be doing with this bed, except I will be starting some seeds soon. I'm going to put some more Swiss chard in along here, maybe some brassicas as well, but the lettuce should fill it out in the meantime while those plants are starting. The only other thing I wanted to get done today was put in a few of these purple basil seedlings into this garden bed that I've got some peppers that need to be staked, I think. It was quite windy yesterday and blew a lot of things over, so I'll be out staking those. It's got other types of basil, sweet basil, tulsi, cinnamon basil. It's got a couple of eggplants, a zinnia of course, and a cosmos, which will soon be flowering. So I think filling in the spaces with some purple basil will make this garden beautiful. They're a little hard to spot in here, but once they get going, they'll certainly be noticeable and fill in all the gaps in this garden, and it should bring lots of pollinators and hopefully be pretty productive both with the basil plants and also the peppers. Now the garden bed next to it is an example of why I want to plant closely in that capsicum bed. Just hiding in here, you can see 2 chili plants that are quite large really. They're reaching for the sunshine, I think. I will be harvesting some of these Asian greens and radishes soon, but that will have got them nice and big. If they look like they need a bit of support, I'll stake those ones as well. But hopefully, with a little bit of crowding over in that garden bed, these capsicum plants will get a lot bigger than what they are now. And that finishes day 6 of my week of work in the veggie patch. I hope you'll join me for tomorrow for our last day. And if you haven't seen days 1 to 5, I'll leave a playlist at the end. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.